appreciate that. But anyway, so tomorrow is going to be the launch of the webinar. It's a free webinar. It's dealing with my 4-step framework for a profitable voiceover business. And as I was saying before, when you do not have a strategy or framework set in place where you can actually see the things going on in your business, where you're monitoring what's happening, that so that you can have something that's predictable, something that's measurable, is really important for what it is that you're trying to building, because what you pay attention to grows. What you measure will grow. And so many times people do not measure. Put some comments in the chat section there. Are you measuring what's going on with your voiceover business? Be brave, put it in the chat section. Are you actually measuring what's going on, from the amount of marketing that you do, to the amount of clients that you get every month, to the amount of money that you're making? Are you tracking these things? Or are these things just something that's going on, running in the background, but you never really have any firm understanding of what's going on in your voiceover business? Be brave. Go ahead and put that in chat if that's something that you struggle with in doing that. The whole reason for the title of this whole thing, the reason your voiceover business is not growing, the reason why it's failing, the reason why it's just what it is right now, it all centers around you. It all centers around what your mindset is. It centers around what the strategy is that you're using. It centers around the tools that you're using to really track what's going on. So let me go ahead. I'm going to share my screen here for a moment, and I'm going to show you what is actually in this course. All right, so everybody should be seeing my screen right now. And this is for the Steps to Voiceover Success Masterclass. And once again, the webinar is tomorrow, obviously, depending on when you're watching this video. So hopefully you're watching it live, or you're going to be watching it today. And it's only going to be available for a few days. And we're letting a certain amount of people in, and that's pretty much it. So this is the masterclass, and the link for that webinar is around this video. You can just go ahead and click that link. It's probably the first link in the description for this video. What we're going to go through in this training, first of all, we're going to have a private Facebook group for members of this course that we're going to be talking and interacting and things of that nature to really be able to dive into what's going on. It's the place where you're going to be able to ask your questions, as well as within this course. I'm going to be going through a lot of this on the webinar tonight, so I'm going to breeze through this, but there's 4 phases to this, or 4 modules. In module 1, it's what I call the alignment formula. This is where you get clear on who it is that you are and what it is that you do. I dare say most people watching this video don't have a micro niche that they're working with. There is nothing that they're known as the expert for. You're kind of just doing things willy-nilly, hoping that you get a job on the pay-to-plays or the freelance sites. So we're going to talk about how to micro niche, what it is that you do, so that you can be seen as an expert in what you do, and as opposed to a commodity, which most voice actors are. We're going to go through setting your prices. I've got setting your prices 1 and setting your prices 2. There are some worksheets and Excel spreadsheets that are going to help you do this. It's going to help you set your prices so that you know exactly what you need to charge for what it is that you're doing. We're even going to go through some things as far as accepting payments. How should you be doing that? Module 2 is the attraction formula. This is where you learn what your marketing materials need to look like. What does your website need to look like? What do your landing pages need to look like? And I dare say most of you are not using landing pages, and you're leaving tons of money on the table. Module 3 is the discover formula. This is where I show you my secret sauce of email marketing. I've done some teachings on this years ago, but this is so vastly different and so much more up to date for what needs to go on right now. Because one of the things you really need to do and need to learn how to do is get to the client. Sending an email to an info at address is nothing. You need to get to Jack Williams, who is the creative director, for Paramount. That's what you want to do. And so I'm going to be showing you the secret sauce that I have to be able to do that in our Discover formula, as well as what you need to say in your emails and how you need to follow this stuff up. Excuse me. I dare say most people are really struggling with the email part of this if you're doing email marketing at all. And by the way, email marketing is the number one way that I built my business, period. It wasn't on a platform or pay to play or freelance site. Then we get into module 4, which is the execute formula. And we're talking about getting all of your stuff in a row, getting all your ducks in a row so that you can launch this thing and do it from a profitable position. We're going to be talking about what you need to do before you click that button to send out emails. We're going to be talking about customer acquisition. I've got another Excel spreadsheet here where you're going to be tracking your numbers, because I'm going to tell you this, if you're not tracking stuff, you're not going to grow. You're letting this happen in a way that just does not happen from a professional business standpoint. And then, of course, we've got group calls, 2 group calls every month that we do going through this 4-phase framework, the 4-step framework for a profitable voiceover business. I've got more lessons coming. One of the things that I have that I'm actually going to be working on today is the whole thing behind Facebook. So many people are not using Facebook ads because, one, you don't know how to, you don't know what to say, you don't know what to do, but it is hands down one of the best ways that you can actually start acquiring some clients is using Facebook ads. Once you have all of these steps mapped out and it's ready to go, you're going to be able to build a voiceover business on autopilot without competing with anyone. So I want to make sure that you sign up and you register for that webinar that's going to be tomorrow, once again, depending on when you're watching this. So I hope that you take advantage of this. And let me just see. I'll pop the link. The link is in the description for this video, as well as on the website at stepstovoiceoversuccess.com. You can get right to it there. So I hope you go ahead and take advantage of that. If any of you have any questions, go ahead and let me know. Let me pop open another computer here because I may, since I've never done this on Google Hangouts, this is really weird for me. So I want to be able to see some of the things that are going on. So I'm going to pop open my YouTube channel here and see what's happening over in the comments, because I don't think I can see this for whatever reason on Google Hangouts. So I'm just going to pop this open so I can see if any comments are coming in for this. And yep, there are comments. What's up, Al Summers? What's up, Andrea? What's going on? And let me pull that out there. Maxwell. Oh, Marcine is here as well. Okay. Now, I'm hoping that everyone heard this. Can you pop in and just put in the comments if you were able to hear the past 15 minutes that I've been on this little rant about what it is that I'm doing? Just let me know that you could hear all of that. You saw the presentation that I gave for the website, things of that nature. Just let me know in the comments if you heard all of that. Whoever is watching live, I definitely appreciate it. But when you talk about building a voiceover business and really doing it from a professional level, and this isn't about a hobby, this is you're trying to build a serious business. And I think a lot of times we look at this more as a hobby, but if you really want to do this, you're going to have a dedication level that is going to be far beyond the dedication level that you have ever had before. Thanks, B-Dog. Yeah, I appreciate you letting me know that you can hear. This whole thing, this webinar that I'm going to be doing tomorrow, who's registered for the webinar already? Put that into chat. Thanks, Andrea, for letting me know that you can hear. Appreciate that. Who's registered already? Put that in the chat. I want to know if you're registered already for this webinar tomorrow. One, that's a great thing. If you're not registered for this webinar, you need to make sure that you get registered. And once again, the link is in the description for this video. I've answered so many questions over the years from different voice actors in regards to building a business, and so many people take a lot of different tactics and strategies. They're looking for a lot of information as far as what to do with like their DW or their performance or anything like that. And this is not what this webinar is about. It's not if you don't know how to do voiceover, if you don't know how to work your DAW, this really is not for you. This webinar even though it's free, it is for people that understand how to do voiceover. It is primarily, should say only, focused on how you're going to build a voiceover business. This is what this webinar is for, so that I can reveal and uncover my 4-step framework for a profitable voiceover business. One of the things I don't believe in, and many of you have heard me say, thanks, Andrea, I don't believe in cookie cutter programs. They don't work. And here's the thing, if a cookie cutter program worked, every last one of you would be successful in voiceover. If any course that you've ever taken, a cookie cutter course where it just says do this and do this, do this, and if it was real, every last one of you would be successful in voiceover. Period. I don't believe in cookie cutter programs, and I'm going to explain that on the webinar tonight as well. And when you look at everyone that I coach is so vastly different and has different skill sets and knowledge, whether we're talking about technology or marketing or sales, everyone comes from a different perspective. But the major thing about this whole webinar and about the 4-step framework for a successful voiceover business is that the main thing that you have to identify is what is uniquely you. What is the micro niche that you're looking to serve that you can be seen as an expert at? Whereas now all you're doing is trying to do anything and everything. And that's why you're being seen as a commodity and not a pro. When you niche this thing down and you get your micro niche all set, that's the foundation of this. That's the foundation of the 4-step framework for a profitable voiceover business. Who gets paid more? Generalists or experts? Well, that's a rhetorical question, right? If you've got to have, if you need to get treated for cancer, God forbid, you're not going to your general practitioner. You're going to someone that treats cancer every day. And that's all they do because you want the best. Why do you think your potential clients are any different in thought? They want to deal with you because they believe that you're an expert in this thing. I remember back in the 80s, was it the 80s or the 90s when those Bo Jackson commercials were coming out and he was playing, football and basketball and baseball and NASCAR and all of that. You can't be a pro in all of those things. Serena Williams is a master at tennis. Tiger Woods just won another championship, right? He's a master at tennis. He practices tennis. That's what he does is tennis. He doesn't bowl. He doesn't ski. He's a master at tennis. You need to understand that you need to become a master at one thing and become known as the expert in that field. BDoggy45 says, do you have any insight on lessons from Edge Studio? I have no idea about Edge Studio. Maxwell saying he's registered. Yep, golf. There you go. What did I say, Tiger? Did I say Tiger Woods was a master at golf or did I say tennis? But anyway, we know what he is. So I wanted to just put this video out so that you got a firm understanding of why you need to be on this webinar tonight. It is vastly different from anything that I've ever done before because there are no replays for this. It is only going to be available for a short amount of time, and I'm only letting 50 people in to the program. So you need to register and you need to make sure that you're there on the live broadcast, which you see what time it is. And I'm not saying what time it is because this video is going to be out there for a while. So if you got in on it and you could see it and register for the webinar, great. But if you're watching this video, if you're watching this video too late and the webinar is done, you can get on the wait list for the next time that I launch it. So I don't know when that next time will be, but get on that wait list because when we launch it again, or when I launch it again, you'll be able to get involved with the program. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out with me. I'm actually doing this on a Google Hangout, which I've never done before. And that was only so that I could share my screen. Had some issues with audio at the beginning, but I'll adjust that in post here. And I will see you guys on the webinar. Register for it or get on the wait list right now. And I'll see you guys then. Thanks for being here with me. Bye now.